Chiefs getting ready for the Texans. Houston's never won multiple playoff games in the same postseason, but hey, there's a first time for everything. Plus, they get a big boost from the return of J.J. Watt.
What did I ask you earlier this week? I said, how great do you want to be? Today you show me how great you want to be. 20 teams are at home. 12 are in this tournament. Every single play, every single rep, you dive for the ball, you run as hard as you can, whatever you gotta do. How great do you want to be? Let's go. Greatness on three. 1, 2, 3, greatness. Mine's always right. The mind's always right. Go win us a football game. Let's go.
Here's a blitz. Watson in trouble. Watson escapes. What a play! Get the Texans in field goal range.
That's how you beat. You're great, brother.
Fairbairn's kick is up. And it's good!
Yeah!
J.J. Watt and the Texans trying to win in Kansas City for the second time this year. Let's head back to Arrowhead. Kim Jones is with the Texans. James Palmer with the Chiefs. They are both obviously together. But Kim, I'm going to start with you. What's the latest on Houston?
Well, first of all, Colleen, I should have mentioned this the last time we joined you. Tarp's still on the field. James, this is a heated field, though. We don't necessarily expect issues that way, but interesting that the tarp covering the field, as there was, of course, inclement weather, snow, cold, and that sort of thing that we've seen over these last couple of days. He's seen more of it than I have. As far as your question, Colleen, the Texans, you know, we see in Deshaun Watson what great instincts he has every game he plays. He exemplifies that. I thought Bill O'Brien said something very interesting this week. He said, you've got to be really careful how you coach a guy like Deshaun Watson. You cannot take away his instincts. That's not the right way to coach him. I think that's an interesting dynamic. Head coach, in some ways, learning how to coach a player like Deshaun. Really cool and a great quarterback matchup today.
It really is. And that group up front for Kansas City, Kim, is what we're going to have our eye on. Specifically the guy in the middle in Chris Jones. They don't know if he's going to play yet, to my understanding. On Thursday, he suffered a calf injury. I'm told in one of the final plays of Thursday's practice. Couldn't practice Friday. They're going to have him go out here and test it and see how he feels. He didn't play in that Week 6 matchup where Houston rushed for 192 yards. Frank Clark in that game also, he told me, was about 40 to 50% dealing with a neck stinger and a nerve issue in his neck. And also the addition of Terrell Suggs up there now was not obviously there during that Week 6 matchup. And Colleen, I'll leave it with this. I talked to Frank Clark about Terrell Suggs. He said, Suggs always says to me, I'm 37 Monday through Saturday. On Sunday, I'm 26.
I love that. I love that so much. And Chris Jones, somebody definitely to watch. 9 sacks with them in just 13 games. Definitely a difference maker on that field. We'll talk to you guys soon. When the Texans beat the Chiefs back in Week 6, it was essentially the worst game of the season for that Kansas City defense. They allowed 31 points along with a season-worst 472 yards and 35 first down. 35 first down.
0 sacks, too.
Yeah, that's right. They didn't sack Deshaun Watson once, so that must have been great for Deshaun in that game. So if this turns into a shootout at any point, how will Deshaun Watson keep up with the Chiefs, Kenny, or they just do the same thing they did in Week 6? That worked out well.
Yeah, you saw that they had 0 sacks is because Deshaun Watson does a tremendous job at extending plays. I mean, it allowed him last week to go 20 for 25, very efficient, 247 yards. And a touchdown. And, of course, I have some tape to show you exactly what I'm talking about. And look at that, Steve. I got me some tape. I got me a graphic, dog. First of all, you look at right here. Okay, a free hitter, he escapes the pocket and finds a receiver downfield. Hey, you get a first down on that play. You look at right here, again, just buys a little bit of time and gets an explosive pass play to Duke Johnson. And this is what I love right here. This is the play that everybody talks about. An unblocked defender, he takes the hit from both defenders and, again, gets an explosive pass in the passing game. This is what makes Deshaun Watson special. You heard Kim Jones talk about Bill O'Brien learning how to coach this guy, talking about you got to coach him a little different because you don't want to take his instincts away. Over the last couple years, he's been the most hit quarterback in the National Football League because he's always trying to make a play. I don't think he really truly understands when a play is over, and I think he has to kind of learn that a little bit to kind of save himself, save some of the hits. But Bill O'Brien's right. Kim Jones did an excellent job reporting it. You don't want to take that ability, what I just showed, away from Deshaun Watson.
You can't take it away. It's a gift and it's a curse. And what I mean by curse, and at times he extends plays. And when he extends plays, sometimes you're waiting for that big play, and you don't take what the defense gives you. So you overcompensate, or you sometimes pass up the guarantee for the what if, and the result leaves your receiver may get hit, or you set it up in this play right here, back out, right, where you get a nice good throw, but also a hustle play. What Sis plays, that's his game, is he never stops. He never stops on the play like an Adam Thielen. He stopped on the play. When you don't stop on the play, you have a hustle play. You have a Deshaun Watson that's running around in the backfield. Sometimes that could put you behind a 3rd and 16 when it was 3rd and 5.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, for me, this Houston Texans offense can absolutely keep up with Kansas City. But the one thing they have to do is protect Deshaun Watson. And I'm talking about when he just drops back 3-step, 5-step. You can't make him be Houdini all the time. Like you said, he has that ability, and that makes them better, but they have to just protect him when they drop back. They spent a lot of draft capital to get a guy like Laremy Tunsil. He's leading the league now in holding penalties just because, I thought he was a much better player, and he is a good player, but he's not that home run left tackle that I thought they were going to get. And so that whole the film don't lie.
And the film says he's a pretty good blocker.
So all the holding penalties he gets. Let's watch this game, me and you together.
I think a lot of times Deshaun gets him in trouble with all the extending of plays and stuff like that.
I've seen 3-step dropbacks where Laremy Tunsil's getting blown by holding guys, and I'm like, wow. I played with a guy like Trent Williams, and he didn't play football this year. But when I think of just a lockdown, athletic left tackle, Tyron Smith the same way in Dallas. I didn't watch a lot of Laremy Tunsil at Miami, so I didn't know what I was getting myself into watching him in Houston. And so he's not that elite class of left tackle. He's right under that, and he's a very good left tackle, but I just think they have to protect him. If they protect him and they give him the opportunity to drop back and throw and then make those off-schedule plays, whether they scramble deep balls or just being Deshaun Watson and making a fantastic play, they absolutely can.
Well, if it turns into a shootout and they're hanging, it's because Will Fuller, who's coming back today, is at
weapons.
Probably not going to be at 100%. I mean, that's the understanding. But if he's close to that and he doesn't experience any setbacks, he's the downfield threat that if you're going to keep up with them, you're going to have to hit him down the field to be that threat alongside DeAndre Hopkins. So we'll see as it goes along. You saw with Mark Ingram yesterday. You don't know how these things are going to go.
Right, that's
but
true.
It's the playoffs. If you can go, you go.
Yeah, and you know what? Trust your run game from the beginning of the game as well. That's how they beat them last time. That's how they kept Patrick Mahomes off the field. The time of possession was like 40 to 20 minutes. Yeah.
Times like that, what we're saying, somebody's going to get a wild hair and go in there and say, you know what, I got a better idea.
Yeah.
Don't make stuff
up. Not going to run the football. I know, right?
Don't get too cute out there. Big players, they make big plays. So, you know the rest here. Think it's time for LaShawn McCoy to turn up.
Come on, Shady.
Mike Rob, we're running.
You've been resting all season, dog.
And the Ravens, they're out.
Shady got the best deal.
Move on. We have a ton to unpack here from last night's game.